Here we go, buddy. Yeah, let's fucking get it.
Who wants some? Who's next? Huh? How about it? Who wants some?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hello, and welcome back to the VHS Doom podcast and rental store. As always, I'm your humble host, Dylan Crutcher. We're so glad that you're joining us again for another dive into the shelves of madness. We hope you all enjoyed our last episode where I did a deep dive into the career of the great, the legend, Roger Corman. As Mikey rest in peace. As Mikey gets closer to having his baby, there may be more solo episodes, or I may have a guest spot or two. I actually talked to Paul from Mutant City. Shout out Mutant City Horror. As always, they're fucking awesome. But he said that he's up for a guest spot, so I might have him
bring Mike on too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the bearded villain. We'll probably have the bearded villain come on.
That was our plan for when you were gone. It was to be me, you, Paul doing It's Alive.
Yeah,
for
some reason, somebody's execution is just not quite there. No, it's all right. I know you were having trouble with your internet.
I had no internet that day.
Yeah, that day. That's all right. I think
you know how dealing with a toddler with no internet is.
I think what happened was that Mikey showed up to the store. He saw what Hugh had done, and he just turned his back and walked away and said, "Sorry, guys, internet's not working."
Unspeakable horrors.
Right. So I think that's what that was, but that's all right.
It was a big Lovecraftian sense of dread.
Sure, yeah.
As I walked through the aisles, my mind went away.
Yea, though I walked
madness
through the aisles of the shadows of madness, I shall fear no evil. For the anus of my anus has been clenched really well, and
I am scared, guys.
I'm clenching for eternity. Okay, whatever. So this week, as always, I am joined by my ever nefarious, dastardly, clenching, can cracking, and always awesome co-host, Mikey Mutant. Oh man, how you doing, dude?
Good, dude.
Good. Nice. Awesome. Well, we'll dive into that a little bit in a sec. But just so y'all know, with a quick pandering, I've gotten more efficient at these pandering notes, so it doesn't last as long, which is nice. But we do have a Patreon. We have a few tiers. You can join at Gold. It's $10 a month. That's a lot. But you can join at Silver for $5 a month. There are the standard membership, $3 a month. It goes a long way to supporting the show, obviously. And you get a custom membership card at any level that you join. You can get VHS shipped to your door. You can get, if you join at Gold, you get a shirt shipped to you. Actually, I got to send one out to old Mr. Paul, because he's a member, because he's awesome. So he's going to be getting a shirt soon. I got to message him about which one he wants. Speaking of shirts, I haven't talked about this in a while, but you can go on to VHSDoom.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, and head to our merch store. We got a lot of cool fucking Grindhouse titles. I'm wearing one of them right now, actually, if you're watching. Brain Dead, Dead Alive, So there's some cool shit on there. Go check it out. So as far as VHS is getting shipped to you, I did pick up a couple cool titles this last week at the bane of my wife's existence. She was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You got more VHS tapes?" And I was like, "I'm going to stop for a while. I'm going to stop for a while." Okay. So I got Torso from 1973. I couldn't pass that one up. And it's actually the copy.
Of course not, honestly.
Yeah, it's a copy from a VHS store. So it's got like that covers only on the front with that like plastic case that they would send you with, and all the stickers of please rewind and be kind and all that shit. I just couldn't give up. I could not get that. Plus it was only like $5 or something. You know what I mean? Like nobody was going for it. So I got it and it works. And then also I got The Embalmer from 1965, which I've never seen before. But Mikey has said is a pretty solid film and considered one of the first Giallo films, right?
Yeah.
So that's in the collection now.
One. Did you read the title on there?
Oh yeah, I picked up Cornholio's Revenge. No, I did not. Mikey just is typing in my notes because he be hitting that pen and chilling like a villain named Dylan. Anyway, please subscribe wherever you are, wherever you're listening to the podcast, and help us out with a rating. It really goes a long way and supports the show. Give us little stars, a little 5-star if you think we're 5-star. If you want to give us a 3-star because you're like, y'all are mid. Okay, I'll take it. Just give me a rating. No, please give me a 5. But that's fine too, whatever. And then, that's it. We want you to come on the show. If you're a producer, a director, an actor, and you're promoting a project, reach out to us. vhsdoom@gmail.com. We love to have, creators on the show. And we want to spotlight your work. So we want to talk to you. All right, dude, tell me what's going on. What's new?
Lots of activities outside.
Okay.
Yeah, just taking Sammy to like music class. We were talking about it before on the pre-show, but to the pool, to soccer. Soccer was last night.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Getting everything ready for the baby. It's like a month away.
That goes by quick, buddy.
Dude, it's from like, I want to say this pregnancy. I mean, I'm not the one to say. I'm not the one having a baby, but I feel like because of COVID ended, it's speeding up. Whereas with when Sammy was like, when Katie was pregnant with Sammy, it felt like it was like really slow going towards it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's just nicer that I'm able to actually be there for the appointments. Because last time I wasn't allowed to go to.
He almost threw up everybody.
Now, last time I wasn't able to go to the other appointments because of COVID and the rules in doctors' offices where it's like one person could come in.
Yeah. No, that's true. You had Sammy through that like initial COVID craziness,
Yep.
so you weren't even allowed in like sonogram shit, right?
And the funniest thing is, the last presidential election was when Sammy was born.
Oh my God, Sammy, what did you do?
So now we get to watch the debates in the hospital again.
Oh God. Let's see. Okay, so Sammy was the bringer of Biden, and we'll see if your second kid is the bringer of
Amelia. We decided the name.
Amelia.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to share unless you wanted to. Amelia.
Okay.
What a cool name.
Yeah.
So we'll see if little Amelia is the bringer of doom for the planet. We'll see.
Probably.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Cool. Nice. Well, what did you watch? What'd you watch?
So honestly, right before this podcast, we were talking. I completely forgot I watched anything, but I was talking to Sammy. I'm like, "What do you want me to say to Uncle Dylan?" And he's like, "We watched 2 Godzilla movies." So
nice. All right.
He reminded me. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
We watched Godzilla versus Space Godzilla from 1994 from Kensho Yamashita, and then Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 from 1993.
Okay. All right, cool.
The Man in Suit Godzilla movies are better than the CGI shit. I don't know. I just like watching the monsters fight, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I can't really remember the plot of either of them. I mostly like, I don't know. For Godzilla movies, I love it when they fight.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one's amazing and how it's like commentary on like nuclear weapons, but like the rest of them I feel like are just like monster movies. I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's there isn't that you don't have to have much of a plot when you're in like a kaiju movie and you're just waiting for like destruction, and let me see how they kill the city off.
You've seen Space Godzilla, right?
I have not ever seen Space Godzilla. No.
Oh, okay. So towards the ending, all the crystals start popping up. There's like So the monster looks like Godzilla,
Yeah.
but he has like 2 crystals on his shoulders
Okay.
and like a weird crown kind of thing.
Okay.
And he comes in like an asteroid like crystal thing.
Oh,
And like
interesting.
the Earth starts like showing up with all the crystals, and it's like a giant fight scene in like
Yeah.
the city while it's like covered in those gems. It was really cool.
Interesting. Yeah. No. Well, so funny enough, I'll talk about what I watched and then I'll talk about what I did because it pairs so well. So I watched Godzilla X Kong.
You spelled his name wrong.
What?
It's
Adam-
Wingard, not Wingard, not Winged.
No, it's Adam Winged. Adam Winged.
It's not Winged.
No, it's Winged. It's Winged.
it's
Yeah.
not.
So, I watched Godzilla X Kong 2024 by Adam Wingard, whatever.
Wingard.
Wingard. God damn it, Mikey. Stop calling out spelling errors. This is so pretentious. No, I'm
He did your next and the guest, which are awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So, it was 2 hours of my time, and I don't get a lot of time to watch movies.
Give it back at him. He wants his time back.
So, yeah, I was not super thrilled that I spent the 2 hours on this film, but the previews I'd seen were good. And the fight scenes are cool. There's not nearly as much like city destruction as there is just actual, like character.
Don't they
on
run
character.
under the city?
Yeah, so there are a lot of fights in the Hollow Earth, so you don't see as much. You don't see as much city destruction, but in the end, they like destroy, Rio de Janeiro or something, and then there's a little bit of like bridge destruction in Rome or Cairo or something. But it was weird, man. It was like. It was very rushed, and you're right. Like Godzilla movies or like kaiju movies in general really don't have to have a plot. But I do like if they're going to do a plot that they don't rush it like as fast as this film rushed it. So if you're going to try to get me invested in the familial relationship between the last girl from Skull Island and her adoptive mother after her entire population was destroyed, don't take only 5 minutes for that whole story. Like, just leave it fucking alone. Like, we kind of know who she is already. So you don't have to set up like, is she going to leave her mother or not? Like, fuck off. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that they tried too hard to have a plot and to have like a story that interconnects the characters while also really trying to show as much kaiju magic as possible. And the CGI in this film really was not very good, to be honest. Like I've seen a lot.
Was there any new monsters?
Better. Yes. Yeah, they do introduce a new monster who, well, I kind of went through YouTube and watched a lot of reviews or a lot of hypothesis videos prior to watching this, that this monster could be maybe the mother of all monsters, but I don't think that's how it played out in the film. This is the biggest kaiju that I think I've ever seen.
Even bigger than like Biollante? That's the plant dinosaur monster one.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, this monster's massive. It's a massive, massive monster. And
we like massive monsters here.
I like massive, massive, above average monsters. But yeah, it's
the show.
Yeah, it was a big one. It was a big old one. Big old honking. I like by height, not bigger than Ghidorah by any means, not by height, but by mass, just mass in general. And also the Scar King, I'm sure you've seen like previews where they show the Scar King.
Is he an orangutan?
Yeah, and he's pretty cool because he's not like you. There was like concept art that I've seen that made him big, like muscly, like Godzilla, but he doesn't fight like. Like Kong. He doesn't fight like Kong. He fights like a fucking ninja, which is kind of cool because he's long and lanky. You know what I mean? So that added a cool aspect. You know, like Godzilla and Kong are both real bulky, so when they fight, it's all like bulk stuff.
Didn't they have to make Godzilla smaller?
No, I think I want to say this one's like the biggest Godzilla that they've had.
Or
Right?
I think of King Kong they had to make smaller.
Oh, no, you know what? The biggest Godzilla they had was that animated Godzilla anime. That Godzilla was like fucking
I still
huge.
need to watch that. I started that recently.
But no, this Godzilla was, I think it was the same size. How much bigger was Godzilla and Kong in Godzilla versus Kong?
Like the first one?
Yeah. Was he a
I
lot
don't
bigger than
remember.
Kong? I think
I thought they had to change it to make them like be able to face each other. Let me see.
they had to make Kong a lot bigger. I know that much.
Oh, that's what I was probably thinking of. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Because I'm telling you, this monster
Is
that
it called Shimo?
yeah, the monster that they introduce is huge, and like it apparently started like the last ice age. Like that's how strong this monster is. So.
Okay, so for the movie before this one, so Godzilla is 177 meters long,
Goddamn, yeah.
and Kong is 103 meters tall.
Okay.
But they're like Godzilla's like 90 tons, but King Kong is 50 tons, 50,000 tons.
So Godzilla's a lot bigger. Doesn't look like
Yeah.
a lot bigger, but I guess he has the tail, and he's kind of fat, chonky boy. Got them hips, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the reason why we were talking about Godzilla, why we started watching it was because he keeps playing with the toy you got him for his birthday, the Godzilla toy.
Nice, cool, yeah.
And he's having it like fight all of like the NECA figures I have.
That's what's up. Yeah, so
he'll like ask me to
Godzilla
put
versus
out, like,
Terrifier.
No. Godzilla versus Alien.
Oh, okay. Wow, that would be
Or Godzilla versus Predator.
Yeah, dude. There's a funny scene in the beginning of this one where Kong's being chased by these like wild dog pig things, and he picks one up and he rips it in half over his head, and it just showers him in green blood, and then he's like, "Nyeh."
That's awesome.
They gave him a little bit of personality, which is cool. When did he learn sign language? Did I miss that in one of these films? Though
I think I missed that.
yeah, I think I might have missed that because there's a little girl in this who's like the last member of her tribe, and she speaks.
Wait,
to
Godzilla or Kong?
Kong, sorry, Kong. Yeah,
Oh.
Kong. I keep saying Godzilla when I mean Kong. Did Kong learn sign language at some point?
I don't know how he would.
I never saw that, but yeah, she speaks to him in sign language, which I get. Like, yeah, gorillas can learn sign language, but did anybody take the time to teach this fucking monster sign language? I don't know. Anyway, all right, whatever. That's what I watched. I also watched the first episode of X-Men '97, which was such a
That
nostalgic.
show's so
like,
good.
I felt like I was back in my childhood. It felt really very similar to the cartoon from when I was a kid. So, really good first
It's
episode.
such a good series.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if saying anything about the first episode's a spoiler, but oh boy, they're in for it. Magneto, he got some shit. So, anyway, fun.
Yeah, me and Sammy
But-
finished it like a week ago, I think, or a week or two ago.
Did you? Nice.
I like where it's going. It's going back to some like other stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It has a lot of the Marvel characters, like the Avengers, and like all the other characters are too.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I'll look forward to seeing that. That'll be cool. All right, cool. Well, what did I do? Not a lot to talk about, not a lot to report. I just worked a bunch, and that's kind of that. The baby's getting bigger. He's like 13.
He's
or
about to take over the
like
world.
13 pounds now or something. Yeah, he's getting big. Ari's doing great. She's got swim lessons.
How's
she's
she
learning
liking
how
it?
to swim. She was jumping into the pool. She's liking it. She gets a little scared about the going under bit, but she's doing it.
Does she get scared
And
about like floating?
you know.
Or no? They're not teaching that yet.
at the first lesson, she got scared about floating on her back.
Yeah.
But she's been doing it since then. She was nervous about going under for the first couple lessons. But this last lesson, she went under a bunch, I guess, and also jumped in. So that was kind of cool. So she's doing that. And she went to the Science Museum. I had to work, so I didn't get to go. But She had a fun time doing
That's
that.
awesome. We took Sammy there for Father's Day.
Nice.
Yeah, he loved that.
Yeah, it's good shit, man.
And especially
but that's
the
it. I think
freeze-dried
that's it.
ice cream. Oh, that shit.
Oh, yeah, right. There you go. That stuff is cool. Okay, cool. All right, friends. Well, that's it. It's time to get you checked back in from last week. We sent you with a great list of films that was curated by none other than Mikey Mutant, despite him being out for the week. So we sent you with Death Race 2000 from 1975, which was directed by Paul Bartel. All right, thank you. We sent you with Mask of the Red Death from 1964, directed by Roger Corman. All right, I'll take that. Thanks so much. We sent you with Little Shop of Horrors, 1960 version, directed by Roger Corman, and finished surprisingly in, 2-3 days. It was quite the feat of filming. Also, next we sent you with The Pit and the Pendulum from 1961 that was directed by Corman as well in his Edgar Allan Poe series there. And then we sent you with The Terror from 1963, which that was directed by Jack Nicholson, Roger Corman, Monty Hellman, Jack Hill, Dennis Jacob, and Francis Ford Coppola.
I guess he was just training all of Hollywood in that one film.
Yeah, right. He was training the future of Hollywood in one film, in The Terror. So, how's everything look today, Mikey? Everything good here? Who's this little girl? Okay, hi, girl. How are you? Hey, Mikey, can you do me a favor, though? While you're checking those VHS, can you go behind that curtain and check if we have the extra boxes back there for these promotional tapes?
Okay. Usually when it just happens.
All right. No, it's fine. Yeah, just go right back, and then close the curtain behind you. We don't want anybody seeing into the back there. Little girl, what are you doing? Why do you have such a large knife?
Get away.
Oh my god! Oh my god! She fucking spined Mikey. She stabbed him through the spine and ripped all the way up. Little girl. Oh, there she runs. She's running right out of the store. For some reason, she had a penis flopping around everywhere in the wind. Oh my god, Mikey! Oh. What the fuck was that?
Thanks, Gabby. I'm okay now.
Did Scabby Man just can crack me, you son of a bitch?
You brought me a Diet Coke and I feel better now.
Oh, good. Diet Coke will bring you back from being cut up the spine. Yeah.
My back does hurt a little bit right now.
I bet it does. That girl just fucking...
I got my bacchiotomy
all the way up. Your bacchiotomy? Yeah, better than a chiropractor. Just get a bacchiotomy from a little...
You know what that's from?
A little... What is a bacchiotomy?
Half-baked?
What is that from?
When they're like really stoned, he says, you know what I need? I need a bacchiotomy.
Interesting. I haven't seen Half-Baked in a long fucking time. Huh.
That's like a quote that's
I remember,
been stuck in my mind for years.
I confuse Half-Baked with How High. Those two films in my head kind of mix and mingle. You know what I mean? But anyway. And then Friday. I watched those those three films in succession for a long time. Like I just spent a lot of time watching a few movies. And those Friday I watched maybe like 80 times. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm glad you're back, and there is blood all over the floor, and our backroom curtain is shredded.
Yeah.
Shredded!
Don't we have like somebody to clean that up?
Pamela's going to be really fucking mad about this.
All right, well.
She'll clean it up, but she's not going to like it. Pamela, what do you have to say about that?
Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
I know.
Oh, I couldn't let them open this place again. Could I? Not after what happened.
Okay.
You let him drown. You never paid any attention. Look what you did to him. Look what you did to him.
All right, we'll keep talking about that race. What door? Is it a new door? Fucking shit.
What are you guys
yes,
doing
Hugh. We're working. What are you doing?
What's this episode?
Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, cool.
What?
I'm going to go back to normal. Listen. Bye.
What? Oh, all right. Bye. You smell funny today. What have you been doing?
I've been bathing in ravioli.
Oh, no. Ravioli. Oh, no. Does that mean that the Ravioli Boys have been here?
They're coming
shit.
for you.
Oh, my. They're coming for me. Why?
Revenge.
Revenge for what?
You'll see.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god. I've seen a lot of spaghetti sauce around the store lately, so I'm assuming you've had your Ravioli Boy henchmen just hanging around here. But maybe they're too scared to come actually talk to me themselves. I haven't seen them in a while. Since like that episode where they just showed up and then they disappeared. I don't know. Whatever. All right, friends, that's it. Fuck. So this week we're taking you to camp, motherfuckers. That's right. It's summer, and we're going to summer camp, and we're going to get, our freak on and throw water balloons while we're standing on the top of a roof, because why the fuck not? Then we're going to throw sand at people because they're different, because, why the fuck not? So anyway, you ready to press play on this bitch, Mikey?
Is someone going to attack me again if I do it?
No,
Okay.
just press play. Just
Press.
play.
Dear Mom and Dad, I've been at a sleepaway camp for almost 3 weeks, and I'm getting very scared.
Welcome to Sleepaway Camp. Someone is watching you.
Hey, Baba, Reba!
Someone is waiting for you. Someone wants to scare you to death.
Turn it! Turn the wheel! Oh my God!
Sleepaway Camp. You won't be coming home.
All right.
That was the
That's what's
quickest
up.
scream.
Okay, Mikey. Yes. Take it away and read the back of that box as we go to summer
right.
camp, Biddy.
Let's see. Bunks in the showers are Mad Stabber's beat at summer camp strictly for teens.
Wow. So last episode we did together, Jaws, that was the longest fucking synopsis I've ever heard in my
Well,
life.
this is Rotten
and this
Tomatoes.
one, it's like one line.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was like, holy fuck, the writing difference on these is wild.
I don't know where my Blu-ray is. I told you earlier.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
Sleepaway Camp is
Mike-
literally the same one.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, that's it, friends. So it's camp and kids, and they're being fucking wild.
Murdered.
All right, so yeah, murder camp,
And pedophiles get burned.
sleepaway camp, Arawak, which makes sense because the main dude gets arrow whacked later. You know what I mean? Whacked by an arrow. But anyway, Sleepaway Camp is a 1983 American slasher film written and directed by Robert Hiltzik, and starring Felissa Rose, who I just learned yesterday. Her full name is like Felissa Rose, like Gutierrez or something. What's her last name?
Hingle McCringle.
I never knew that before. What the fuck did you just say?
I just thought of the Key and Peele thing when they're acting like sports players. And one of the guys' names was Hingle McCringleberry.
Kringleberry. Yeah, so it's Felissa Rose McCringleberry. Actually, you were right.
Well, she's married
That's
to
wild.
the dude who used to be the singer of CKY.
Yes, she is. No, but her last name is actually Felissa Rose Esposito, which makes more sense than
'Cause she's
Gutierrez,
Italian,
I
yeah.
guess. But Yeah, Esposito. She's from Greenwich Village, actually. She was born in Greenwich Village in 1969, and she did marry Darren Miller in 2004 and has a couple kids with him. So, yeah, cool shit. Felissa Rose is awesome. So, she's actually one of the most active people at any, like on the convention circuit of anyone. If you follow her on Instagram, she's really cool. Hey, Felissa, if you happen to ever hear this and you want to come on the show, that would be fucking awesome. That's like a goal interview of mine. Felissa Rose is up there. Tom Savini's up there. I feel like we're going to work our way there one day. But yeah, if you hear this and you want to come on the show, we'd love to.
Tony Todd would be cool.
Anyway. Tony Todd would be life-changing. I don't know why. I just love that man. He is awesome. He's so cool. But we probably end up talking about jazz. I have this bad habit of talking about music to people, and I did that with Mark Sjostrom, and we just started talking about rock.
It was awesome.
It'd be like,
I don't know. That was an awesome conversation.
Right. It'd be like the Dylan and Tony Jazz Hour on VHS TM. That would be a cool
about how we met him before.
Segment. Anyway. Yeah, right. Anyway, okay, so Sleepaway Camp, what I was saying, stars all those people. It also stars Paul D'Angelo, Mike Kellen, which is his last screen appearance, or Kellen, I hope I'm saying that right, and Christopher Collette, this was his first appearance. The original entry in the Sleepaway Camp film series, it focuses on serial killings which occur at a summer camp for teenagers. It was filmed in upstate New York, which for some reason I thought this was filmed in New Jersey. I was wrong. That would have been like Jersey, Friday the 13th. Yeah, it looks similar. I mean, they're pretty similar topographies. But it was filmed in the fall of 1982. Sleepaway Camp was released the following year by United Film Distributors. It earned approximately $11 million at the box office, but it was met by largely unfavorable reviews at the time from critics, many of whom deemed it exploitative and derivative of such films as Friday the 13th from 1980.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of like this movie a little bit better
than the original Friday the 13th?
Because it feels more real because the kids are real.
Yeah. Okay. You mean they're not like adults playing kids?
Yeah, and it kind of just feels like a summer camp kind of thing.
Yeah. No, you're right. It does feel more like a real summer camp. But I think Friday the 13th, the thing was the kids never got there. It was the counselors trying to get everything ready.
True.
And in this film, the counselors do feel like grown-ass adults. Mm-hmm. I think teenagers in the 1980s just looked like they were 40, you know? So, I don't know. Like, if you think about the one male counselor for, like, the boys' bunk that they show a lot, he's got, like, more hair on his fucking belly than I have on my head. It's very weird. Anyway. All right. So, what else? In the year since its release, Sleepaway Camp has gone on to develop a cult following, as well as garnering notoriety for its twist ending, which is considered one of the most shocking in the horror genre. And in film history at large.
I remember when I showed Katie it for the first time, she was freaked out.
Yeah, I believe it. The full-on frontal penis.
It's mostly the face, the mask that the actor who's acting like Felissa Rose was wearing at the end.
Yeah, that was a pretty creepy mask, for sure. So this film has also been subject to divergent criticism from modern reviewers regarding its themes of gender identity, which we will talk about a little bit later, because I think it's important to discuss that. It was followed by 4 sequels, which were Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers,
and 2 of them
88.
had Bruce Springsteen's sister as Angela.
That's right.
2 and 3.
Angela Springsteen. Mm-hmm. Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland in 89, and then Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor in 2012, and lastly, well, actually, this is out of order, but Return to Sleepaway Camp was in 2008.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I know that in 2020 there were talks about returning again to this and having Felissa Rose involved, but I don't know if that actually panned out or not, or is panning out. So just a couple more players in this. So this was directed by Hiltzik, as I said, but it was also written by him. It was produced by Jerry Silva and Michelle Tauschen. Oh, my God. The cinematography was by Benjamin Davis. It was edited by Ron Kalish, Ralph Rosenblum, and Sharon L. Ross. The music was by Edward Bilius, and it was produced by American Eagle Films. The budget was only $350,000, and the box office brought in $11 million, making it, prime candidate of the golden age of slasher films. And that was released on November 18th, 1983. All right, now we'll wait for Mikey. All right, cool. So we got to the plot. So I'm going to read through some plot sections, and then we'll talk about, what we thought of each section as we go.
Artie's death is one of my favorites.
Mikey. Okay, hold on. Let me read it, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so in 1975, John Baker and his boyfriend, Lenny, take John's children, Angela and Peter, on a boating trip. Now, they don't make that not immediately aware that that's his boyfriend. But after the boat capsizes, John and the children attempt to swim to shore. However, they swim into the path of a reckless motorboat. That bitch couldn't drive for shit, and they're struck. John and one of the kids are killed. You're not really sure who. But you find out, it was the little boy. Or I guess. 8 years later, Angela, the surviving child, is now traumatized. She has been living with her eccentric aunt, Dr. Martha Thomas, and her cousin Ricky Thomas. Angela, she's fucking wild. Angela and Ricky are sent to Camp Arawak, due to her introverted nature. Angela is bullied because it's the 1980s, and everybody got bullied, with fellow camper Judy and camp counselor Meg as her primary tormentors. The head cook Artie does attempt to molest Angela as well. Later, an unseen figure causes Artie to get severely scalded by the water he's boiling. He's rushed to the hospital, and the incident is deemed, yes, for sure, accidental by camp owner Mel Caustic. Mel was a piece of shit. All right, so up through that first kill, Mikey, what kind of things do you have to say about that?
The aunt is awesome. She's like one of the funniest characters in the movie. The guy getting horribly burned, he deserved it.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit, wasn't he?
I don't know. I love this movie a lot. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. So I think there were 4 different actors that had their first role in this film. I think I saw that when I was watching it, debut or first appearance or something like that. The kids' accents are way too fucking strong, but I guess they do sound exactly like little Philadelphians. Almost. They have oh my God, my daddy. I don't know. It's just the way they were talking. It was just too strong. It was too much. And then that bitch was driving. She was driving the boat literally as fast as she could right to the shore. There's no way that's in the path of a boat. You know what I mean? You could if you've ever been on a lake or the water in your life, they were way too close to shore for them to be at danger. But yeah, that was wild. And then the guy tried to course correct and literally put the boat in as fast as it could go just to make sure that they're killed. And I didn't understand quite why the skier would have been the first person to see the children in the water, considering she was 25 feet behind the boat. And she's like, look out! How did she see them? I don't know. It didn't make sense. It made no sense to me. Yeah, whatever. The aunt's weird as fuck for sure. She is hilarious. Oh my! The way she talks is just so funny. And I did think that their house probably only cost $20,000, but it was like a giant fucking colonial, nearly mansion. So
probably more money.
Thanks
now.
Again, boomers. Right. Thanks again, boomers, for ruining everything, because that house was probably affordable at the time. That's where my adult brain goes to. But anyway, yeah. And then, when the cook in the very beginning, when all the kids are running into the camp from their buses, and he says, we call them baldies. Ain't no such thing as too young. They immediately made me hate that man. And I knew it was coming. I've seen this movie a few times before, obviously, but yeah, that's fucking disgusting. He deserved his fate for sure.
He deserved worse.
yeah, worse than he definitely deserved death. God forbid you were different or challenged in the 80s. Good Lord. There was no fucking chill. They're like, hey, look at that quiet piece of shit.
Let's beat the fuck out of her.
She's a fucking asshole. Oh yeah, little girl, I'm a grown ass man and I'm going to beat the fuck out of her. It just didn't make sense. Like, what?
Use other children
Y'all
to
are
hit the
too
kids
much. Right. Yeah. It's like, actually in Godzilla X Kong, Kong uses Mini Kong, which is the coolest character in that.
Is it like Baby
it's
Godzilla?
like the orangutan's son.
Okay.
No, it looks like the orangutan's son. But he uses it to beat a couple other monkeys with. So he uses the child to beat the adults. And I was like, that's pretty much what they did in the 80s. They just used children to beat other children. Anyway. All right. So
oh my God.
I did have one random note here. I think that we should definitely change the VHS Doom uniform to Ron's red shorts and white shirt at the very beginning. I said this on the Jaws
episode, like 70s and 80s, like movies, or not even movies, just like the fashion, like the swim shirt trunks are literally just like underwear.
Right, exactly. So I think we'd look sexy as hell in that shit. So, sure, I might have a few more rolls than old jacked Ron, but I'd probably look like a cutie patootie in those shorts. Welcome to VHS Doom, everybody. Everyone would turn around and walk out immediately. Oh my God. Yeah. So one of the quotes I think from either Meg or Judy was, "If she were any quieter, she'd be dead." Which is just ridiculous. And then when the cook said, "You never know what you'll find in the walk-in," that is a true statement. So if you've ever worked in restaurants, then you never know what you're going to find in a walk-in. And in full-service restaurants like 10 years ago, you might have just found two people fucking in there randomly. You never know. Nowadays, not so much. So that's good. But yeah.
Do you remember when we used to turn off the lights on people and hide in there and then pop out?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
That was Dan's idea. Shout out to Dan.
Yeah. That happened everywhere, man. Never know what you find in a walk-in. Hopefully it's not a fucking pedo rapist, though. And if you do, just beat the shit out of them until they're dead. So let's see here. I did say I'm not advocating murder in every scenario, but in that scenario, I am. This is the biggest, most absurd pot I've ever seen in my life. So I personally have never seen a pot that big. Ever. And I'm sure they exist. You're feeding a camp full of kids. You're about to cook 87,000 ears of corn. Okay, you need a pot that big. But that pot was fucking huge. Also, dirtiest kitchen I've ever seen in my life. It was covered in fly strips. The flies were just covering the strips. If you ate from that camp, there's a scene later. No.
My summer
you're
camp
not
was
getting
like
certified by the health department in those scenarios.
Spring Lake Day Camp in Ringwood, New Jersey was like that.
Oh, call them out. Yeah. Hey, Department of Health in Ringwood, go to this summer camp and shut it down. They're feeding you people burgers. Anyway, so yes, the cook was a fucking disgusting garbage human. I did say he did have cake though. So when they went to push him into the pot, he had a fat ass. It's true. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know. I just say what I see and report back to y'all. So he did have cake. So that was true. And then, yes, nearly boiled to death. I said maybe this is an off-brand Freddy Krueger origin story. Similar stories funny. A little bit, Yeah. We call him like Frankie Krueger or something. I don't know. Frankie Cranky.
Frankie the Chili Man.
Cover up. Yeah, Frankie the Chili Man. There you go. And his weapons are
an avocado
spoons. No, sharpened spoon fingers. and he throws avocados at you with his sharp
Rusty
fingers.
spoons.
Yeah. Cover Up is the name of the game, friends. So if you don't want the money to stop in any of these movies like Jaws or Sleepaway Camp or anything else, then, you know, you're going to cover it up. And there's always a greedy white man involved. 100%. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Do you have any more you want to talk about up to that bit?
No, I think there was something I have meant for the next paragraph, but it was mostly talking about like the bee thing, how ridiculous that was.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So campers Kenny and Mike also mock Angela, prompting Ricky and his friend Paul to get into a fight with them. Paul befriends Angela. Kenny is later drowned after capsizing his canoe, and his death is also ruled an accident by Mel.
Yeah, when that snake thing goes through his nose, or the bug, I think it was a bug, right?
Oh, that's a great. Yeah.
Creepy.
It was a snake that went through his nose or out of his mouth or something like that. Yeah. So after that, Paul asks Angela to attend a movie with him, which is being shown at like the rec center, and he kisses her outside of her bunk. Then campers Billy and Jimmy throw a water balloon at Angela from the roof, and Billy is killed next, stung to death when someone traps him in a public toilet stall with a beehive, knowing that Billy is allergic to bee stings, apparently. I didn't catch that, but Mel starts thinking there is a killer in the camp at this point.
Okay, the bee stings looked wild for like being allergic to it. It looked like it was full of acid. Yeah. It wasn't just like an allergic reaction.
Right, yeah, that was fucking wild. So the relationship between Angela and Paul grows strained when Paul kisses her again, and that causes Angela to have a flashback to her youth when she and her brother witnessed their father in bed with Lenny. Paul is seduced by Judy at that point, and the two are found kissing by Angela, which makes her very upset. Guilty, Paul attempts to explain himself, but he's shooed away by Judy and Meg, who throw Angela into the water. Small children then fling sand at Angela, and she's comforted by Ricky, who swears revenge on her aggressors. Meg is later stabbed to death in the shower.
Nice.
Okay, which is like the best kill in this. So we'll talk about that.
That's like my top. One of my top 10 slasher kills. I thought the whole getting stung by bees thing was ridiculous, but like because only one can kill you if you think about it. But like he needed like a whole like Candyman coming out of the mouth type of set of bees coming after him. And the way that how like his arm was like stung kind of looked like it was like someone poured acid on his arm instead of like getting just like stung.
Good effects. Good effects for sure, but not really actual. Not what would happen.
I mean, in the second one, someone gets drowned in a porta potty. So this franchise is kind of funny with kills, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was so they're doing some just like random like basic camp activities, you know, playing baseball, whatever. There was a line that was like, "Eat shit and die, Ricky." But I really liked Ricky's response. He said, "Eat shit and live, Bill."
Can we get like a shirt with like his face on his shirt and that just says it?
Yeah, eat shit and live.
That would be good.
I like that. Right, for sure. So the dance where it's like before the dude's killed in the canoe, that was super depressing. That was a really depressing dance. There was like nobody there. But you get to kind of start to see Mel being really creepy at that dance. He's into teenagers, and he's obviously into Meg. And I thought it was funny, not funny, but just like, wow. Like when Ricky starts getting beat up by those dudes, Mel doesn't even move. He just watches it all happen. That was fucking weird.
Adults in the 80s didn't care about the kids.
Yeah. Billy is high strung as a motherfucker. That was the guy who wanted to go skinny dipping. And he takes another girl out on a canoe and like tips it over. That's how he ended up in the water. That girl swam like a motherfucking machine. She was the Jaws girl.
A horse machine.
So when she's swimming back to shore, she's like with her fucking legs. There's the biggest splashes I've seen. That was wild. So obviously she went on to be killed.
That's how Sammy swims
later at the beach by Jaws. Is it? Oh wow. Careful.
I'm just kidding.
Don't take him to the beach. Don't take him. Jaws will get him. I kind of wondered.
He loves me to shark. Honestly, he loves sharks.
Yeah. I wish they would have done a little bit more, like to show the killer or like the figure of the killer getting out to the canoe, because there's like they just pop up. Like they just pop up into the boat, underneath the boat. But they didn't show like any water movement. I thought that would have been a little more interesting, but, and I did like,
they probably didn't have the budget for it.
Probably not. You're probably right. But I did like when they had the snake crawl out of the mouth of the corpse. It was a great touch because he was teasing that other chick about snakes being in the lake when he dumped her in. Mm-hmm. So it was good retribution there. Judy is the fucking worst, man. But at one point in the film, kind of before they dump her in the lake, or maybe like right there, Judy says, quote, "I didn't think she was your type. You know what I mean?" End quote, which made me think for a second and made me wonder if Judy knew something, like Judy had suspicions. And I think she did. I think that was confirmed later because she asked why Angela would never get in the shower at the same time as the other girls. So I think Judy had an idea that there was something off. And I kind of wondered, because she was a nosy fucking bitch, if she snooped around and watched Angela in the shower.
Her death was horrifying.
It was, which makes me wonder again, was Judy snooping, and did Judy see Angela's peen, and that's why she got impaled by a fucking curling iron? I don't know. That was in particularly...
This episode's going to be called Angela's peen.
Angela's peen.
We're gonna get canceled for that.
Peen de Angelique. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I'm wondering if that's why Judy's death. Judy was a bitch in general, but she was a nosy bitch, so she might have known. Paul, he's a player. He might seem like a cool guy, but yeah, Paul was a player. Felissa Rose. So Felissa Rose's blank face when people would come up and talk to her, when she was just like it was so good. I don't know. That was just she did a good job with that. Like blank. Yeah. Like you. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, look at Mikey's face. Look at that fucking terrifying face. Oh my God. It got worse. Yeah. But anyway. And then the knife through Meg's, through the shower curtain into Meg's back. That kill is like, that's good shit. And when they rinse the knife off, if you follow us on Instagram and you saw I made a post and I was like, hey, I wonder if anybody knows does anybody know where this knife is from? We're about to record tomorrow. So if you guessed it and you knew it, good on you. But then when they clean off the knife in the shower, that's just such an iconic scene, man. It's so good.
That's my favorite kill. I think it might be my favorite kill in any slasher movie, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Nice.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah. So, we'll jump back into the plot really quick. So, at this point, there is a camp social that's being held. So at the event, Paul apologizes to Angela again, and she tells him to meet her at the water later. Mel finds Meg's body at this point. 4 of the 6 children who threw sand at Angela are found hacked to bits.
Oh my God, what did he say when he found her? I forgot. It was like a thing.
When he found who?
Meg.
Oh, he started talking about Ricky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he started blaming it on Ricky, like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to kill you. Like, he was convinced that that's who the killer was, so he was going to go out and kill him. So that was...
He beats up a child.
Yeah, he's going to fucking murk a child for sure. He tried. That's for sure. So, yeah, kids are killed. Then soon after, Judy is killed by being vaginally penetrated with a hot electric curling iron. Fucked. That is so fucked. The camp is thrown into panic with all of the deaths that are going on. Thinking that Ricky is the killer, Mel then beats him into unconsciousness and then runs into the woods, encounters the real killer. He's in shock by who it is, and then he appears to recognize his assailant and says, "You? No!" And then he's shot through the throat with an arrow. Arrow whack. Camp Arrowwhack. He got arrow whacked. Police begin searching for the missing campers at this point. Paul is at the beach with Angela, who suggests that they go for a swim. And she tells him to undress. So the policeman discovers Ricky, who's unconscious but alive. Ronnie and Susie find a naked Angela humming and clutching a hunting knife and Paul's severed head. They're shocked to discover that Angela, quote unquote, is actually Peter, her thought to be dead brother. Dun, dun, dun! It's revealed that the real Angela was the kid who died in the boating accident, and Peter actually survived. But after Martha, her crazy ass aunt, gained custody, after Martha gained custody of him, she decided that she would raise Peter as the girl that she always wanted, already having a son, and 2 boys just wouldn't do. So it's implied that Peter was mentally affected by seeing his father sharing a homosexual embrace with another man, which that's stupid. But the nude and blood-covered Angela with male genitalia in full view stands before the shocked Susie and Ronnie, who discover that she is the killer. Angela stares vacantly at both of them, hissing and growling at them like a wild animal with the most iconic, mouth open face, ever, which is so cool. So, all right, nice. So that concludes the plot there. So let's finish out our notes. What do you have in the end section of the movie?
When you first see that scene, it's terrifying. I thought it was interesting that they did a cast of her face because she was underage for that role.
Yes, she was only 13 at the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just very iconic and creepy.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. It's super iconic. So. Some stuff I had here. So why the fuck were they having a water balloon fight on the roof of their cabin? You've
never done that?
No, I've never felt the urge to go on my roof with a bunch of water balloons and not throw them on anybody at the ground per se.
That's some 80s weird
but
here, buy a toy that'll explode in your hand kind of thing.
Right. But I'm going to go on the roof to play a game and throw balloons at you. Now, if your foot slips on the water and you fall off the roof, you're a bitch. That's what.
Yeah, and you have to get up and then do some extraneous work afterwards.
Right. That's what it is. All right, cool. I guess I didn't get far enough in my notes before because there were a couple things I missed. The water balloon fight on the roof thing. Also, killed by bees while taking a shit is my greatest fear by far. That seems like an awful way to go.
You're just sitting in a stall and someone just
you're like bees. But I do believe I would have crawled over or under that small ass door in 2 seconds, and he didn't even try. It's like he was now in a safe. Like he couldn't.
And the bees are just eating his
bust
face.
The door. You couldn't just open the fucking door. I mean, yeah, sure. There was a broomstick holding it shut. Go under it. Go over it. It was like a 2-foot door. Anyway, that was annoying. So I thought when Angela got that flashback of her dad in bed with a man, and then it went to her and her brother in the bed and it was spinning around and they're just pointing at each other. That says everything you need to know, but I didn't pick it up on the first watch, that I ever did of this film, years ago. I didn't catch that. Now, you know what's happening, but, I think it just tells you everything. You are me, I am you. I don't know. Anyway. So Mel did stare at Meg's dead body for way too long. Way too long. So when he's in there and he's doing his speech, he's just kind of looking at her. That was weird. It weirded me out a lot. I mean, I guess he was getting ready to fuck her or whatever before. So maybe he was just, I don't know. It was weird. Because that whole
about
thing.
Necrophilia.
Yeah, maybe he was considering it. I don't know. I did cheer. I was like, yeah, when Judy got knocked the fuck out real quick. It was like, bop! And she's like, bleh! And I was like, yeah. But then it went way too far, and I was not cheering at all when that curling iron violated her. That was fucked. That was fucked up. at first I didn't understand why the little kids were being killed. And then I said, oh, wait. Oh, I remember. No, they threw sand at her when she was coming back out of being dumped in the water. The little kids threw sand, but not all of them threw sand. Like, she was very, very good at pinpointing exactly who wronged her and then destroying them. So I found that interesting. She was very, very pointed. Mel beat this kid nearly to death like a goddamn gorilla. That's he was like it was like fucking insane, bro, when he was beating that child to death. Then he got that arrow through the neck, which is another. I like a good arrow through a neck, just like Friday the 13th, man. You know, good arrow through a neck, good stuff.
No Kevin Bacon,
no goddamn bacon bits in this fucking movie. Thank God. Piece of shit. No, I'm sure Kevin Bacon's a nice guy. And then this cop.
I heard he is.
Yeah, I've heard that too. The cop's mustache is fake as shit, though. Like the cop when he shows up at the end and he's like, you know, doing his cop shit. That's a fake mustache. Go back and watch it again. It is for 100%. Yeah, the ant went fucking up people's lives left and right. And then lastly, the classic rawr face at the end is so iconic. So yeah, good shit. That's all I got. Those are all my notes on the film. So we can move on into production unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
Amazing. We talked about everything else.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, so there aren't a ton of notes on this film, but we are going to talk about production stuff behind the scenes, and then we'll talk about our box office and release and the home media. And then I do want to mention the criticisms of the film, you know, particularly modern day criticisms, because I don't really give a fuck about what people had to say in the 80s because they were all, you know, racist and homophobic anyway. But we will talk a little bit.
And drank lead paint.
Yeah, we will talk a little bit about
lead paint drinking,
modern critiques and acceptance of the film.
We're going to talk about lead paint drinking too.
Okay. Yes, I know that's your favorite afternoon drink. So the filming
delicious
of Sleepaway Camp took place in Argyle, New York. Argyle.
Where's that?
It's in Argyle, near Summit Lake, at a camp formerly known as Camp Algonquin. In interview, screenwriter and director Robert Hiltzik has said that he attended that camp as a child. All right, cool. So the movie was filmed in 5 weeks, starting in September of 1982, and that ended in October on a budget of $350,000. The film had been storyboarded, but after the first day of filming, the film was already behind schedule. The storyboards could not be used and were thrown out. And they just went off the cuff, I guess. But yeah, so I guess the trees and their leaves were turning, which... you know, it's a summer camp, so they wanted to finish the film prior to that happening, so it didn't look like they were there for too long. So, yeah, unlike any of its contemporaries, which had adults portraying the youth, the cast of Sleepaway Camp was primarily made up of adolescent actors. All right, so some box office and release notes. So, Mikey, why don't you go ahead and take these away, the box office and home media, and then I'll talk a little bit about the criticisms before we do our reviews.
Sleepaway Camp premiered in New York City on November 18th, 1983. It had its premiere in Los Angeles the following spring on May 25th, 1984. Screening in 15 theaters, earning $90,000 during its opening weekend. On June 10th, the film ranked among top 20 highest-grossing films that week in the box office. At the end of the theatrical run, it had gone on to gross total of $11 million. Wow.
Oh, all right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, nice, good.
Home media. In United Kingdom, the film was released on VHS by CBS/Fox Video under alternative title of Nightmare Vacation in 1984.
I didn't know it had an alternate title. That's cool.
In the United States, Anchor Bay. Did I give you that DVD?
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe it's in a box I'm supposed to send you.
Maybe.
The 2000 DVD by Anchor Bay, and then they did a really cool one, but it's out of print now. The Anchor Bay reissue. This one had it came in like a survival kit, and it had 4 discs to it. It was really cool looking.
Okay, cool.
It also contained the 2 sequels, and then a bonus disc of like footage from the unfinished third movie.
Okay.
In 2005, the Canadian-based Legacy Entertainment released a region-free budget DVD release. Unlike the original VHS, this release contained numerous edits to the film and to either shorten the violence or certain moments like dialogue. Scream Factory released the film in collector's edition in 2014. This release contains a 2K scan of the original film negative. This also has the film in its uncut version, unlike the DVD by Anchor Bay.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so there you have it. Those are our home media releases. So go get yours today. I'm sure you can find. I need to
go get yours.
I need to get the VHS, but don't listen to this, Carla.
You do.
Okay. All right. So,
hi, Carla.
A couple notes on.
I didn't tell him this time.
On modern day criticisms of the film, right? So this is it's a sensitive subject when you're dealing with someone who, may be considered trans, right, or maybe not by some. So I think it's important to read what that community has to say about the film, just to give equal representation on everything. You know what's funny? Not funny, but I happened to watch both Sleepaway Camp and I watched Fatal Games. I watched those in the same week. That's another one that has a very similar, finale. So anyway, let's talk about these criticisms. So Sleepaway Camp has garnered contemporary criticism for its representation of a transgender, quote-unquote, villain. Willow Maclay, who is a transgender writer for Clio magazine, did criticize the film for its, quote, equation of mental instability with having grown up in a gender role, not concurrent with your identity. Nearly every single transgender person grows up being raised in a gender role that does not fit, and that doesn't mean that they are mentally ill or seriously violent, end quote. By B.J. Colangelo in an editorial.
I love her. She's awesome.
In an editorial for Dread Central, similarly felt that the film had transphobic and homophobic implications due to its representation of Angela and Angela's gay father, but conceded that the film has metaphorical merit for showing the unfavorable and violent consequences for a character who is forced into gender roles that do not align with their identity. Now, Calpurnia Adams, who's a transgender author and activist, commented in a 2021 interview with Fangoria that the character of Angela is, quote, not even really trans. This whole situation with Angela is a child who's forced into a, quote, unquote, transition. She compared the character to David Reamer, a Canadian man who, as a child, was forced by his parents to live as a girl following a botched circumcision. God,
yeah, that was terrible.
Damn. I've never heard that story. Mm-hmm. That's awful.
You never heard that one?
No. But
that's really disturbing.
Adams further stated that the film should be assessed in the context of the period in which it was made. Quote, I would just say that I enjoy Sleepaway Camp for what it is, which is a schlocky 80s horror with a unique twist ending. And I think that it's the worst, possible portrayal of a supposedly trans storyline, a la Buffalo Bill or Dressed to Kill or any of those types of films. But at the same time, I don't want it censored or canceled. And if you just sit back and let yourself, you can enjoy it while watching, which I agree with. So also another transgender writer named Alice Collins of Bloody Disgusting said that Sleepaway Camp is, quote, steeped in queerness, especially when compared to its contemporaries. In its day, it took a deeper look into the subject matter than that of other films. Angela and Peter's dad is closeted. He's a closeted gay man and forced gender bending, which is abuse rather than queer, but people will see it as such. And the majority of the scantily clad people in the film are men with all of those very short shorts that leave little to the imagination, while there's little skin shown of the feminine variety. That is true. I didn't even really recognize that or notice that as much. They do be showing off a lot of man thigh in that film. So Collins argued that Angela is a transgender girl, noting that in the film sequels, Angela is presented as a woman who uses feminine pronouns. So she continued that life. So despite Aunt Martha being insane, she just happened to stumble upon a person who was already a girl. And it was an accident that her brainwashing worked. So I don't know. That's pretty strong opinion there. But lastly, from Felissa Rose, she defended the film in a 2023 interviews stating, quote, "I absolutely don't feel like it's transphobic. I feel as though Angela was a typical adolescent trying to find her gender identification and sexual orientation. And I thought that that was extremely exciting for 1982. It was ahead of its time. You can see with her father and his lover as well as her relationship with Paul, who she was trying to understand her relationship with. I feel like it was an adolescent story of a young person coming of age," which I think is very well put.
Until his head came off.
Until his head came off, yeah. She loved him to death. Okay, so last little, set of information here. So for the sequels, in the late 1980s, Hiltzik sold the rights to successive Sleepaway Camp films, after which Michael A. Simpson directed 2 sequels, which were 2 and 3. In them, Angela...
Those movies are so... The third one's the worst one.
Nice.
But they're so much fun to watch, both of them.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of the subsequent films.
The Scream Factory Blu-rays for those 2 are out of print, but you guys can get it from 88 Films.
Okay.
That's who I have it from.
Nice.
They come in a cool red case with their slasher line.
Cool. Very cool. So in those films, Angela, who's, as Mikey said earlier, is now played by Bruce Springsteen's younger sister named Pamela Springsteen, or Voorhees, I don't know. You tell me.
I know you're gonna say that.
Resurfaces the naughty backroom video girl, Pamela Springsteen Voorhees. She resurfaces at a nearby summer camp, but this time she's masquerading as a counselor after a sex reassignment surgery. Much like the previous camp, she gleefully tortures and kills anyone who misbehaves or annoys her. These films had more of a satirical comic tone than the original. And then 4, The Survivor, which was directed by Jim Markovic, was partially filmed in the early 90s, but then left incomplete. And then in 2002, the unfinished footage was released and made available as an exclusive 4th disc in Anchor Bay or Stars Entertainment Sleepaway Camp DVD box set.
That was the survival kit, I think.
Yeah. In 2012, the film was completed using archival footage from the first 3 films and then released on DVD on Amazon Video and on demand as well. So, and then a 5th film, which was The Return to Sleepaway Camp, was completed in 2003 and initially struggled to have its visual effects completed. It was directed by Robert Hiltzik, again, and then who was the director of the original. And according to Fangoria, the digital effects were redone from 2006 to 2008, and then that film was put out in 2008. And then finally, the purportedly final film in the Sleepaway Camp series, titled Sleepaway Camp Reunion, was also announced to be in the works. Distribution had been arranged via Magnolia Pictures, and creator Robert Hiltzik, who recovered the rights to the franchise, has stated that he would make the film if the budget was met. However, Hiltzik and Return to Sleepaway Camp producer Jeff Hayes later announced themselves as having started work on a reboot that would retain the key characters and elements of the original film with an additional storyline and a dose of modernizing. So, as of some...
You know who had a little posthumous cameo in that movie? Isaac Hayes, chef from South Park and the singer Isaac Hayes.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
He was camp chef Charlie.
Really? Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the Return of Sleepaway Camp, but
no.
I also heard her husband's in it too, from what I read.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Nice.
There.
Family affair.
Yeah.
So, as of summer 2014, Hiltzik was reportedly tweaking the script. And then Michael Simpson, the director of Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and 3 Teenage Wasteland, wrote a script for an additional film called Sleepaway Camp Berserk. Karen Fields did reprise her role from Sleepaway Camp in the 2014 short film Judy, although it wasn't technically a sequel. The Jeff Hayes directed film was included in the collector's edition Blu-ray release of the original Sleepaway Camp. And then finally, the last note update is in from December of 2020. So, 4 years ago. But there was another Sleepaway Camp installment that was announced to be in development starring Felissa Rose. And that's the last that's been said. So that's it, friends. Let's get the fuck out of here. We had a good time at our fucking murderous summer camp, but we're going to go ahead and get y'all out of here. Oh, wait.
All right, guys.
God damn it.
You got to come through the door now. He's here.
What? You didn't do your reviews. I forgot. What the fuck? Ravioli Boys! Ah!
They're attacking Dylan.
Why are they covering me in pizza sauce? Ah!
They're folding you into a little pizza roll now. Dylan's being turned into a pizza roll.
Why would you do this? Son of a bitch.
And Scabby's not here right now. Perfect timing.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
Alright guys, we're gonna go back to our tried and true Harambe reviews. So let's go.
Oh, fuck. Oh, thank God.
Alright, damn. Scabby came back for a second.
You think that you're the only one who gets out of it. Yeah, fuck off, piece of shit. You know what? You're openly attacking me. I'm going to have to maybe go in line with Dandy Man at this point, you fucking piece of shit.
I think you are Dandy Man. That's why this happened.
No, fuck off. All right, come on. Yeah, let's read these goddamn reviews.
Okay. This one kind of touches on the mustache. The mustache. The thing you were talking about before.
That you should put your mustache.
Almost worth watching for one of the worst mustaches in horror movie history. Not quite. The acting and dialogue was so cheesy you could make pizza with it.
Nice.
The insert shots and our action sequences were laughably disjointed. All up for real amateur effort. This is 2-star.
All right.
This year.
All right. Nice. Okay, hold on. 1 second here. Oh, man, I wasn't ready. Sorry to keep you alive for too long. All right.
Okay, let's see. Let me find a really good one. All right, I had a good one. Okay, here. All right. That one's in Spanish.
Just read it.
All right. 40 years old, this qualifies as the best entry in a string of abysmal sequels, which kind of fascinates me. I remember watching this back at my second house. I found it pretty solid for a slasher film from the 1980s. You can definitely see it takes notes from Friday the 13th. It focuses on a kid summer camp. Angela and her cousin Peter. Okay. This person's just saying the plot of the movie. Okay, so director Robert Hiltzik creates a level of childhood innocence while creating a creepy atmosphere. It works that you don't see the killer all the way. Some of the attacks are freaking brutal. This camp really makes you feel uncomfortable around adults. Like, it gets to a point where you're questioning everybody as a sexual predator. Yikes. The actress Felissa Rose, who plays Angela, is terrific, deeply unsettling with her cold, expressionless eyes. By that time, it gets the infamous ending. Wow. That's brilliant. It just keeps going on.
All right.
This person,
all right,
had a whole essay.
Cool. Oh, goddamn. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, God. No! Not again!
They also talked about how this and Dress to Kill and Silence of the Lambs are held a special place in the LGBT community.
Did you know that's cool. That is good. Did you know that I started a little window glass company?
What's it called?
It's called Doom Glass. If your
I
glass
thought it was
is
called
doomed,
Doom Penis Productions.
No, it's called Doom Glass. So if you have doomed glass that's been cracked or shot out with a shotgun, call me. It's not a way for me to funnel more money back into our pockets or anything like that. Don't worry. All right, cool. Well, those are our reviews.
Company called Concrete Dick.
What the fucking shit, bro? The last episode where you said you just threw it in there when I was like, oh, and he's talking about all of his friends getting killed by sharks, and you're like, and fucked by sharks. That was so funny. I threw in the cricket sound. It made me laugh every time I listened to it.
I forgot he said that, honestly.
You just be saying shit, bro. Concrete Dick. That's this week's. All right. Come on down to Concrete Dick, where you'll get a big old dickin' by Concrete Dick. Construction company.
That's
okay.
The owner's name is
this
Concrete
week,
Dick.
Fucking shit. Let's go ahead and we'll get you guys the fuck out of here. Grab your popcorn, grab your candies, and grab your soda pops. You're going home with some dope-ass flicks. So this week, this list was curated specifically for you by Art the Clown and his handler, Mikey Mutant. First, you're going with The Burning from 1981 by Tony Moylan.
And it's written
at
by
a summer camp, some teenagers pull a prank on the camp's caretaker, Cropsy, played by Lou David. But the jokes go terribly wrong, and the teens leave Cropsy for dead after setting him on fire. No one keeps Cropsy down, though. After a few years, the burned and disfigured
Not even the
caretaker
prostitutes he
returns
kills in one scene.
to camp equipped with his trusty shears, ready to unleash his particular brand of vengeance on a whole new group of teens. The murderous Cropsy stalks the campers in the woods one by one. Nice. Next, you're going home with Friday the 13th, Part 4 from 1984 by Joseph Zito. A carefree lakeside vacation is interrupted by the reemergence of killer Jason Voorhees, in this film played by Ted White. After he escapes from a morgue, leaving bodies in his wake, Jason travels to Camp Crystal Lake, where a group of friends is staying. The teens meet some locals, Tommy and Trish, as well as secretive hiker
Hey,
Rob.
you know what? Who else directed? He directed The Prowler.
Okay. All right. Nice. Gotta love that. As the group of teenagers engages in drunken debauchery, their numbers begin to dwindle and pieces of the past resurface. All right, nice. Next, we're sending you with Bloody Bible Camp from 2012 by Vito Trabucco, starring a piece of shit at the very end who plays Jesus, Ron Jeremy. But backsliding Christians return to the place where 7 years earlier, a crazy nun made campers pay for their sins with blood. All right, next, Killer Campout from 2017 by Brad Twigg. Troubled teens on a retreat are terrorized by a cannibalistic hermit lurking in the woods. And then lastly, friends, for the family and the kiddos, we're sending you with the Addams Family Values from 1993.
With the best Gomez ever.
By Barry Sonnenfeld, and that is true. He's a very good Gomez. The members of the Odd Addams family are up to more macabre antics in this sequel. This time around, Gomez Addams, who's played by Raul Julia, and his wife Morticia, who I really loved. It was Angelica
awesome.
Houston, yeah, she was great, are celebrating the arrival of a baby boy, but siblings Wednesday, Christina Ricci in this, and Pugsley, played by Jimmy Workman, are none too happy about the new addition, and they try their best to eliminate the infant. When Nanny Debbie Jinksley, Jelinski, played by Joan Cusack, appears...
She's always good at playing weird characters.
She is. To keep those kids in line, her presence leads to an unexpected, treacherous twist. Dun, dun, dun! All right, dudes. That's it. Mikey, what are we covering next week, buddy?
If you want to, if we can record next week, let me see.
Yeah, so I should preface this by saying we're probably moving to an every other week sort of timeline while the kids are little here. So I might have to update that on our podcasting.
You want to
platforms.
do? It's a short slasher. Let's do Slaughterhouse. One of my favorites.
Slaughterhouse. All right, cool.
Well,
yeah, if we can record next week, that'd be great. But
there's not that much on pressure. That one, honestly.
All right, cool. So Slaughterhouse. You heard
Hold on, let me find the year so people know. All right, so it's 1987. Okay. The killer's name is Buddy Bacon, and it's awesome.
Buddy Bacon.
And he has a giant axe.
Kevin Bacon. And member of the band The Bacon Bits. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, who are you shouting out this week, buddy? Before we get the fuck out of here.
I gotta scroll all the way down. Tangents of Horror, who I think are recording a new episode soon, I saw on Twitter. Those guys are awesome. Doom Generation podcast. Dissect That Film podcast. In Film We Trust, which we should be talking to them soon. I mean, probably not because of the babies and everything, but we should be going on there soon with them. My wife Katie and Sammy, and that's it. Oh, and did I say Dissect That Film? Those guys are awesome. They always share our stuff.
Sorry, y'all. At this point, my microphone died, so Mikey's going to do my shout-outs.
So I'll read Dylan's shout-outs then. All right, Dylan shouts out Bearded Villain 83, Paul from Mutant City Horror. What's up, dude? Troy, then Joshua from Horror Depot. And then anybody else, Dylan? You all can get fucked and die. My name is Dylan Crutcher. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Don't forget to come on the podcast if you have a project you want to promote. Email us at vhsdoom@gmail.com. Twerk till it hurts. Beep till you creep. Pickle them ricks. RIP Harambe. Ribley Gibbons. Praise Bibbles and Skibbity your toilets. And yeah, that's our outro.